Hello and welcome to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of these live weekly broadcasts to help you mastermind and grow your real estate business. Now, what we're talking about today is something that if you're brand new to real estate, this is a topic that may be drawing you, attracting you to real estate. Is the ability to make your own schedule. And that was one of the things that attracted me to real estate. That and the income potential. Because the big thing for me is, I went to school, got a good enough job, I'm going to call it at this point. I used to call it a good job. I used to say I went to school and got a good job, but now looking back on it, it was just a good enough job. So I had this good enough job, but a few years into it, I realized it wasn't good enough. I realized it wasn't good. It wasn't great. It wasn't even good. It wasn't even good enough. And so that's what got me searching to what I could do outside of this job. And real estate was something that kind of drew me in. And it's this ability to make your own schedule, the ability to earn a huge commission. And all you need is one client, one transaction, one sale, and you might have tens of thousands of dollars in commission it is that you're earning. You maybe could get the money for an entire vacation from one sale. I mean, you might even be able to pay for, depending on where your kids are going to school, their entire tuition, if not at least a year maybe, depending on how much it is and how big of a deal it is that you're selling. And this is all where you could do this part-time, because that's how I started in real estate. Now, obviously, today, real estate has become my life. It's no longer my part-time thing. It's my all-the-time thing. But that's because I've gone all in on real estate because real estate has been so good to me. So that's something that you're curious about. You're curious and you want to learn more about building your own schedule as a real estate agent. Maybe you already have your real estate license. If you're tuning in live with us, let us know in the chat if you're thinking about a real estate career or if you already have your real estate license. Maybe you're licensed in another state and you're thinking about coming down here to Florida. We've got the Facebook live chat loaded up. We've got the YouTube live chat. And of course, if you're watching at tampaschoolofrealestate.com, if you're not watching at tampaschoolofrealestate.com, drop in your email at tampaschoolofrealestate.com so you don't miss any of our weekly broadcasts that we put out to help you grow your real estate business. So I want to find out what information you want to take away from today about building your own schedule. Do you want to focus on, hey, I want to learn more about how it works as a realtor? What does the 9 to 5 look like as a realtor? What is your daily duties, your hours, your times? What is it? And look, this is all within your control in real estate. So if that's something that interests you, stick around because we've got a great show for you today. My name is John Carissimo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We started this years ago, really for the main reason of answering the questions we didn't have time to answer during a FREC prescribed pre-licensing course. Because if you want to get your real estate license, you need to take a Florida Real Estate Commission prescribed pre-licensing course. And now today, we have 4 different options, not just instructor-led schedules, but where you can make your own schedule getting the course as well. So if you want to find out more about the courses to get your real estate license, it's really just one course. You can complete it as quickly as 1 week. And we do have courses where you can make your own schedule, including instructor-led courses that you get to make your own schedule. So if you want to find out more about that, call or text us 813-333-2676. Or you can see all of our class schedules, all of our course options at tampaschoolofrealestate.com. And again, that pre-licensing course is your prerequisite to take the state exam. So you can get a real estate license and then activate with a broker so you can actually broker real estate business and get to the point where you can build your own schedule around your real estate business. So let's go to the board here. And let's say you just got your real estate license. You took one of our courses, maybe you used some of the exam prep tools, you go past your state exam, you get your real estate license, now what? So if you've watched these shows before, post-licensing is a recommendation that you take as soon as you get your real estate license. And this is actually some of the topics you'll be learning more about in the post-licensing course. You'll learn more about building your schedule. This isn't something that you learn about in pre-licensing because this isn't going to be on your exam. The pre-licensing course, the one that's Florida Real Estate Commission required, that we give you a completion certificate, that'll cover a lot of laws and rules and basic essential information that you're going to need to know to operate in Florida legally. However, if you want to be able to build a business out of this to where you have the ability to make your own schedule and earn infinitely more money than you're making on an hourly basis in pretty much any sort of job. You could be a doctor, an attorney. Real estate probably has you beat if you're running your business well. It can be, at least, and it could be whatever it is you want to make of it. If you want to be a real estate agent out on billboards being a top producing agent, you could do that. Or if you want to just earn some extra money on the side, you could do that with it as well. It's so flexible, and for the cost to get a real estate license, it's very insignificant compared to the money it is that you could earn. So let's talk about building out a schedule, since this is what this is about. Building out a schedule. And let's head over to the chat real quick. Looks like Cynthia tuning in on YouTube. Thanks for joining us today, doing it part-time. And that's one of the things I did plan on actually covering a little bit more extensively today is part-time. So if you guys want to see maybe more of a full-time type of schedule, we could talk about that as well. Drop it in the comments. But I would imagine most people that are getting started in real estate, not even imagine, I know, at least from our student base, at least from my own experience, at least from the experience of so many real estate professionals I know, most real estate professionals start in the real estate industry on a part-time basis. So how does that work? How do you get started on the part-time basis in this brand new career with all this information that you're not sure what to do next? First thing you've got to do is get yourself organized. You know, in real estate, one of the benefits is that you get to be your own boss, but the catch is you have to be your own boss. You've got to hold yourself accountable, and you got to be a good boss. You can't just be a boss that has crazy expectations and no steps, no clearly defined actions. Like it could be, for example, your boss comes to you and says, we need to get to the moon. Figure out how we get a rocket ship and we get to the moon. And let's say you're just like some sort of salesperson at a job. You've got no idea how to get to the moon. And if you don't know the steps to get there, you won't, that's not a good boss. And that's an extreme example, but if you've ever been asked to do something that you've got no idea, no clue how to do, and your boss didn't give you any framework, didn't give you any guidance, a lot of times, I mean, you know, maybe you figure it out as you go, but a lot of times if you don't know what the expectations are, if you don't know what you need to do, if you don't know those steps, you're not going to be successful in achieving whatever that goal it is that you've got set forth to do. So again, to be a good boss, you want to have yourself some framework. You want to make some expectations. And this is where, when you're choosing a real estate broker, don't worry about a broker wanting to hire you. It's the other way around. You're choosing a broker. They'll be all chasing after you. So you're picking the one that is the best fit for your business. And when you have more of a business plan of when, where, how it is you're going to work, your broker, your coach, whoever it is that's helping you get started in real estate, because there should be somebody, some entity, something, whether that's a company or the brokerage or the whole team of people or just one single person that's maybe helping you get started. That's why you have to join a broker. You're not allowed to broker real estate independently as a sales associate. You have to register with a real estate broker. Now, again, you're still your own boss. Pretty much every real estate broker out there, you're an independent contractor. So this is your business. Your broker is there to provide a support system, a platform for your success, but ultimately your success is up to you, which is why there is such opportunity available in real estate. Because it's up to you to be successful, there's very big upside. That's why, I mean, you know, just to take, for example, so in Tampa, we've done this commission math before, so we'll make it quick. We've got whole episodes on breaking down calculating commission if you want to see this in more detail. But let's say we've got a $450,000 house. That's about average in the Tampa Bay area. And let's say there's a 3% commission. You don't need to know how to do math to get your real estate license. Number one, there's only 10 math questions on the exam. And number two, you get to use a calculator. And number three, they're multiple choice. So when you get to use a calculator and they're multiple choice and there's only 10% of them out of the 100 questions, you only need a 70 to pass the class and a 75% to class the state, you don't need to know how to math to get a real estate license. But knowing how to use a calculator a little bit is going to help you. So we're going to take our sale price, $450,000, and we're going to multiply it by 3%. And that gives us $13,500. So huge amount of money on the table, but now how do we get it? How do we actually get to a sale? Because there's a lot of work that gets to this point, starting with getting your real estate license. But let's say you have your license. Okay, are you activated with a broker? Okay, yes. Have you done post-licensing so you learn a more curriculum version of a lot of these topics we talk about on State of Real Estate? And if you've done that, great. And one of the things you're learning about, again, in that post-licensing is your business planning. And let's, again, go back to you're doing this part-time. You're doing this part-time and you want to earn this commission. You want to get an average sale with, let's say, a 3%. It's negotiable, but that's a typical, that's not an out-of-the-question ask. There's commissions negotiated higher than this, less than this. It's a negotiable amount. But let's say it's $13,500 just for example purposes here on about an average price home in the Tampa Bay area. And you want to do this part-time. So you've got a full-time job, and maybe you don't have a full-time job, but you have something that's like a full-time job. Maybe you have kids or a kid. Even one of them is a handful. So maybe that's your full-time job, but you're looking to make some extra money on the side. And this isn't a year, this isn't a month, this isn't a week, this is per sale. So the speed at which you earn these commissions is up to you, based on how well that you run your business. It doesn't matter whether you're working part-time or full-time. If you don't run your business well, this commission is going to seem very elusive. And again, part of running your business well, you know, if you have a job, I bet you that job has a schedule. I bet you there's some sort of expectation of when you work or how much you work or what task at least you get done. I guarantee you there's some sort of expectation. Otherwise, that job usually doesn't exist for a while. If there's no, it just, hey, show up when you want, do what you want, and hopefully we make money. No, that's not how things work. And that's not how your real estate career is going to work either. It's not just show up and you make money. No, you got to be doing the right things at the right times. And that's where the planning comes into this here. And this is where real estate can be even more lucrative than any profession if it's done right. But if it's done wrong, you may never earn a single dollar. And so that's why the education, the training, the support is essential when you're getting started in real estate. But let's say you're doing this part-time, and we're going to take a typical work week schedule of Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. That's your day job. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. That's your day job. That's when you're working. That's when you're unavailable. And you're trying to do real estate outside of that. And so let's do this. We're gonna make a little bit of a planner here on the screen. If anyone's ever used, let me know in the chat if anyone's ever used a planner before, some sort of like, I know going to school, I had to use one. I had to put down when my classes were, what my assignments were, and homework and everything like that. They made me do it. I think at some point I stopped doing it because they didn't make me do it anymore. But looking back and how it is I work my life now, writing things down, especially when you don't have somebody there to tell you every little detail that you need to do to be successful. And look, you could have the best coaches, the best training in the world. If you need somebody else to tell you every little detail, you'll never be as successful as when you're able to figure out these details on your own. And that's what the training, again, is going to do here. You know, a lot of people, when they're getting started in real estate, they want to, just shadow an agent. They want to go, hey, let me go shadow. Let me just watch what another agent does so I could duplicate. But here's the problem with that. The duplication, every little transaction is different. And if you have a duplicate transaction, duplicate actions are going to be fine. But if you don't have the understanding of what it is that you're doing, when you don't have that duplicate transaction, that duplicate puzzle piece to match your limited knowledge that you have, because you just know how to do rather than why you do. And again, that's where a good support system, that's where the training comes in. You don't even have to do post-licensing right away. It's recommended, but ultimately you have at least 18 months to get it done from the date you get your real estate license. And if you're like me, you put it off to the last minute, probably because a little bit of your being a procrastinator. If you're a procrastinator, hello, welcome to the club. Number two, after I did pre-licensing and just went through law after rule after rule after basic, I was like, this isn't going to teach me anything that makes me money. And that's what I thought post-licensing was going to be. So I put it off. I didn't take it right away. And then ultimately, when I did take it, I kicked myself because I wish I knew all that information when I was getting started. But anyways, back to the planner here. We'll say our work week starts on a Monday. Sometimes calendars will start on a Sunday. But especially if you're working 9 to 5, I like to have those Monday through Friday. I like to have those last 2 days at the end because if you're trying to do this part-time, look, you can make your own schedule. So I'm not here to tell you have to do this or you have to do that. This is up to you. This is your business, so you get to make your own schedule here. But what I'm going to do is give you some suggestions of how you could make your success as fast-tracked as possible. And maybe that means you make some sacrifices at first to ultimately get to that life it is that you desire. So we've got Sunday, we've got Saturday, we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then let's put some times up here as well. And we're going to say, I don't know, we'll say the day starting at 6 a.m. Now, maybe you're getting up earlier than that. Maybe you're like 6 a.m., I don't get up till 10 a.m. Well, that's fine. You can do a business that way as well. But, if you are sleeping more than 8 hours a day, is that necessary at that point? Maybe it is. I'm not a doctor. I like the idea of 8 hours of sleep, but honestly, sometimes when I sleep 8 hours, I feel a little too tired. After waking up, after sleeping, I'm like, why am I still tired? So I don't know, whatever it is you need. I'm not a doctor. Go listen to some health expert on what the recommendation is for sleep. But chances are, even if you are sleeping like 8 hours a day, let's say here 6, we'll say until 11 p.m. Maybe you're going till midnight. Well, we'll say midnight, 12 a.m. here. And maybe you go to sleep earlier than this. Maybe you wake up earlier than this. It's just as necessary. This still lasts for like 6 hours of sleep. Sources say that's good enough. And let's not put lines there. That's going to get crazy real quick. So we've got 6 a.m. there. Let's say we've got, how are we going to number this out here? Let's do this 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. So 3-hour increments we've got here. How do we build a schedule that works for us? So let's first, again, assume that there's certain times that are going to be off limits because we've got our day job that we've got to work. And we'll do that in some gray here. And let's say we're working again the 9 to 5, so Monday through Friday. So that's going to look something like this. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So let's say that's when you're working your day job. And I'm a visual person, so I like to visualize this type of stuff. That's why I like to draw this out and lay this out this way. Because looking at this here, you can see there's a lot of time left. There's a lot of time left on here. And look, even if you're going to bed a little bit earlier, sleeping in a little bit later than this right here, there's still a lot of time on the board, specifically the Saturday and Sunday, which these are going to be your prime times for your business. Now, why is that the prime time for your business on the Saturday and Sunday here? Not just because you're available, but if your work week schedule matches up with the typical work week schedule of the 9 to 5, well, that means you have off time in the same time that everybody else is looking at houses, which are on the weekends. That's why there's typically open houses on the weekends. A lot of real estate professionals have day jobs, even real estate agents that work and earn as much as some full-time agents. They're maybe doing that on a part-time basis, and it's so easy to do because you have the ability to do open houses on the weekends, on Friday evening if you even want to be extra. Do you want to have open houses during the week when people are working? Absolutely not, because people are working. They're not going to show up to your open house while they're working. But on the weekend, they will. Now, let's say you don't have a listing. Maybe you're borrowing a listing from another agent. Maybe you're helping another agent out at their open house. That's a great way to meet clients. Great way to advertise your business as well as if you have a listing. But what about buyers? You know, maybe you're taking buyers to open houses, but the part of being a realtor is most of the time you get special access privileges that the public does not have. I've got a little app on my phone, so when you join the Association of Realtors, if you're going to be a full-time practicing agent or even a part-time practicing agent, you would join the Association of Realtors so you could have all these realtor tools that allow you to do this job. And one of those tools is the e-key. So I've got an e-key app on my phone, which if you've seen those big blue electronic lock boxes you'll see on properties, I could use my e-key to unlock those electronic lock boxes as long as the listing agent has allowed showings during that time. You know, sometimes if it's owner-occupied, you have to get an appointment first in advance, and that gets approved automatically by the owner. It sends them text messages. There's all these neat little tools that make it's so easy to do real estate in this day and age, guys. Like, it baffles me, the technology that's out there. There's AI assistants that do the prospecting work for you that you used to have to do manually. I remember when I got started in real estate, I was calling and texting people myself trying to get business. Now, there's AI that automatically follows up with your leads with all kinds of different CRM softwares. There's a few different ones that have this type of technology. So it's really exciting. And look, there's still a need for real estate professionals because this isn't a one-size-fits-all type of thing. People are looking for that trusted advisor to guide them through this here. And especially if you've got a day job that's somewhat relatable to where you might also have clients in your day job that need homes, that's a great way to find leads of people that already trust you. Maybe you're an accountant. And honestly, if you've got a busy accounting practice, or maybe let's just stick with accountant. And let's say you're considering getting your real estate license because people come to you about money, they want to talk to you about money. You're good with contracts, you're good with numbers. You can see how there could be easy money to be made in real estate, but maybe you're too busy running your accounting practice, which is why you've never got your real estate license. If you want the most part-time version of real estate, you don't even have to work. You just take your leads and connect them with an agent who does want to work in exchange typically for like 25% of the commission. So that $13,500 commission, you could be earning 25% of that as a referral fee just for making the connection. But the catch is, you do need to have an active real estate license, but you don't need to become a realtor, so that avoids a lot of the big recurring fees if you're not practicing real estate, because you don't need the e-key, you don't need all the extra technology, and so it becomes very low cost as well as very low effort to do referral business. And we've done entire episodes specifically on referrals, but honestly, it's one of the reasons why I believe almost everyone should have a real estate license. And on top of that, if you want to represent yourself you could actually use your commission towards your closing cost and down payment. So that's another reason why almost anybody would benefit from having their own real estate license, even if you're just doing it for the learning experience. But let's get back to making money here, because that's what most people are getting into real estate for. And maybe not to make necessarily more money. Maybe your day job pays really well, but maybe it works you really hard. And the idea of earning $13,000 in 8 to 24 hours of work, according to the National Association of Realtors. Yeah, to give you a breakdown on the hourly, if you want to think of it that way. Now, you don't get a regular paycheck in real estate unless you go work for some sort of builder or company that pays a salary. There are those opportunities that are out there, but those opportunities are going to be safer opportunities in the sense that you have a salary, but also a lot less upside potential. Because if you want to earn these big commissions like this is where you're an independent contractor registered with a broker and you're bringing together independent buyers and sellers. You're not obligated to just one home builder or one company or whatever it is like that. So again, according to the National Association of Realtors, it's 8 to 24 hours, depending on if it's a buyer or seller, to get this $13,500. So if we take this and we divide this by 24 hours, that means we're earning $562.50. Now, this is before brokerage splits. This is before expenses. You know, typically you have a brokerage split where your broker is going to get like 20 or 30 or 40% of the commission. But even if they end up taking half of this money, that's still over $250 an hour. And your commission splits vary based upon what it is that brokerage is offering. But there's also 100% commission brokerages out there where basically you would be getting, before your expenses, of course, is $562 per hour. But that's 24 hours, which is the National Association of Realtors average for buyers of 24 hours of working time to close a buyer. And sellers, it's 8 hours. So if we take the same $13,500, but we're working with a seller, and let's say we're an average agent taking on average 8 hours, that's now $1,687.50 per hour. Almost $2,000 per hour potentially for selling an average home in the Tampa Bay area. Before expenses, there's a lot of expenses, but you've got a lot of room for expenses. With $13,000 on the table, even after you split with your broker, even after you pay whatever fees it is that you have to get your license, to get your realtor tools, to do some advertising, even to grow your business. But there's a lot of money on the table. And see, when you work for a company and you're an employee that earns a salary, the company takes in this much money. And, you know, they have a set amount that they guarantee you in the form of an hourly pay or salary. But now the profits of the business are not necessarily going directly to you. Maybe there's some sort of bonuses or commission or anything like that, some sort of incentive-based pay. But chances are, with that trickling all the way down to you, it's not going to be anywhere near as lucrative as when you are the one earning everything and you've got a pre-negotiated split with your broker of what percentage it is that they're going to earn. Maybe you get 100% and you just pay them a fee. Maybe it's 70% that you're earning. Maybe 80% that you're earning. And this is just for one average deal. You know, you could do this once per month, $13,500. Let's say you're just going to do one house per month. You may say, wow, that's a lot. It's not. That's not a lot of real estate. But it would be $162,000 in gross commission. Let's say you want to do two per month, $13,500. And 24 sales. That's $324,000 in 1 year in gross commission, just 2 average deals per month. Let's say you start working in luxury real estate and now your average price point goes up to $800,000. and you're earning 3% commission on this, $24,000, and you're doing 24 deals, 2 deals a month for the year, now you're making over $500,000. 2 deals a month at $800,000. It's just math. That's the math that you'll probably want to do. That may be one question on your exam, doing some commission calculations like this, but there's other things. But again, don't stress the math. It's only 10 questions on the exam. You're allowed to use the calculator. In worst case scenario, it's multiple choice. Just make a good guess, and hopefully you pick the right answer. So now, how do we figure out our schedule here to be able to factor in when we could earn this $13,500? Where do we have available to work? Let's see if we can highlight here. Is this going to show up good on the... Oh, yeah, that looks good. Maybe. Can we go a little darker? Let's see. A little yellower. Yeah, this may be a little darker. So what times do you have to work on your real estate business? A lot. Now, maybe you have obligations with kids or with family or whatever it may be. But let's count up some hours that we could put in to work on our real estate business here. Let's say we're going to work from 6 to 9 every night. Well, that's 3 hours. You literally just do that, and that is 15 hours available to work on your business just in the evening. And you're only working till 9 o'clock at night here. You want to push it till 10? That's going to get you 4 hours a night or 20 hours in the week. Let's say in the morning here, you could budget in maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours even. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now we're up to 25 hours before we even hit the weekend. And now on the weekend, I don't know, let's say we're working 10 to 8. 10 hours right there. That's 45 hours we've just carved out. Now, maybe you've got obligations. Maybe you've got kids, and you don't have time to spend 45 hours. 45 hours isn't part-time. That's full-time. And that's how some real estate agents, if you want to be a go-getter, some might worry about burning the candle at both ends, but if you're not concerned about that, you could find the time to make this work. And these times here, now excluding this time is what I would use more to set up your day. To be able to set up your day, maybe you have an hour for lunch here as well. We didn't factor that in, but that could be another 5 hours right there. Now we're talking maybe 50 hours we have on the schedule. Maybe you're only spending an hour in the morning, maybe only 2 hours in the evening. It's just a question of how much time do you want to dedicate towards your business. Now you might say, well, John, why would I want to try to do this when I'm already working 4 hours a week? I can't do that. I can't make time for that. Okay, you don't have to. You make your schedule. I'm just here to show what's available. If, let's say, your program, your plan is going to maybe be more like this. Let's say that you're doing Monday through Friday, 2 hours in the evening. That's 10 hours. And let's say you spend Saturday and Sunday 3 hours. That's another 6 hours. Together, that's 16 hours. Now, that's not a full-time job. That's not the most of your potential, but what can be done in 16 hours? Well, according to the National Association of Realtors, 2 sellers closed, or being two-thirds of the way there for a buyer, according to average statistics. Now, it doesn't happen that quickly where a buyer just gets closed up in 1 week if you work enough hours. No, it's time spread over. But if you've got enough clients stacked up, you could have each and every minute it is that you're working squeezing out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per hour. Because if you get to that point, let's say you get to the point of just making maybe $100 an hour. That's very small. Let's say you're just starting off at that. You do the math, you earn a couple commissions, you do the math based on what you've worked, and you're making about $100 an hour. That's still better than most jobs. And on that 16 hours, that could work out to $1,600 that week. Now, maybe you don't end up earning any money until you get up all the way up to $13,500, which is for one commission, like we've been calculating here. So you might go weeks, you might go months without having money coming in, depending on how much you're working, how well you're working, how smart you're working, how well advised you are, if you're in a good environment. That's all things that are going to make you more efficient to where you're making more money per hour it is that you work. And again, this is just making $100 an hour. If we're going back up to the $500 to $1,600 an hour, if again, let's say $16, let's just say $500 to say the low end of that. Let's get our handy dandy calculator back out here. Huh, $8,000. And that is why you have more upward potential in real estate. Is your job going to give you a 5-time raise? Chances are it won't. Probably not, at least in the current role you're in. Maybe if you become the CEO of the company, you end up making 5, 10, 20 times more than what you were making as an entry-level employee. But maybe that's something that maybe you could do across your lifetime. That was the thing that I realized for me. I wanted to be the top person. I wanted to be the CEO. But you know what? And that's one of the things I realized working in the company, because it had 180,000 employees, and that's not the reason why I went to that company. I thought it was a cool company. I liked the work. I enjoyed it. It was doing a lot of sales stuff. But I never intended to be, that top person. But then as I began thinking more about my future and what it is that I wanted out of life, I wanted more success than I was on the path to get. And this is just going from being a very novice entry-level agent that's not earning much per hour, which already $1,600 just for working 16 hours, that's not too bad of a deal. But when you could improve yourself and performance manage yourself to go just closer to what on average the National Association of Realtors states that you work for typically are earning with a buyer 24 hours. That's only, again, $500 an hour. That's $8,000 for that week, working 16 hours. Do you start out there? No, but you could get there. And let's say you're going to the point where you're a top listing agent. And this is why you see the agents that do lots of advertising. This is why they focus on listings. Because if we're talking listings, where did we have that math here? So when we're talking about listings, that's where you're closer over here, because it's a lot less time to close a seller than it is to close a buyer. It's about a third of the amount of time. And so that's why, again, your top agents focus on obtaining listings any way it is they can. That's where you see these real estate companies that offer that they'll buy your house cash. They really don't want to buy your house. They want to list it. They're going to give you a lowball offer. So anyone that's thinking about calling one of these places and you're wondering if they're going to give you a fair deal, they won't. That's how their business operates, whether it's Open Door, it could be Mark Spain, who else advertises the cash offer thing. The nature of a cash offer is not to get top dollar, it's to get a fast sale. And for a lot of people, that's what they need, because maybe their financial situation or whatever it is, that they need a fast sale. So there is a market that's appropriate for these cash offer type of things. It could be OfferPad. It could be, I think Zillow pulled out of doing like the iBuying type of stuff, but there's a lot of companies that do this. Brokerages even that have their own buying programs as well. But as a consumer, understand that if you're able to let your property sit on the market and you've got a well-informed, knowledgeable agent, you could get significantly more money than you're going to get with one of these cash offers. And so that's, again, why there's a lot of advertising dollars that are spent. There's a lot of people that are clamoring for sellers because that's where the money is at, literally. So let's say you've got a seller, you're focused on sellers, you're improving yourself to go from an entry-level agent to somebody who's mastered buyers to somebody who now is mastered sellers. For average homes we're talking about here, because we just did this on a $450,000 price point. So 16 hours times $1,600 an hour. Now you're making $25,600 per week. $25,600 per week. And you might say, John, does anybody make $25,600 per week in real estate? Well, I don't know. Let's see how much money that is. Times 52 weeks. $1.3 million. Yes, there are agents making significantly more than that. This is usually when you start to get into the territory of real estate teams. It's rare that there are single agents working on their own making this much money, but there are in a year. So this is doable. But again, the focus probably needs to be on listings, or at least more on luxury real estate. Remember, we're just doing this off of average properties. So if we move into the luxury territory, that's going to double all of these numbers. So it's going to take half that amount of effort to get to this if we're dealing at a $900,000 price point versus $450,000. Maybe you want to focus on first-time home buyers. That's a noble cause as well. There's a lot of people that need somebody to guide them through this process. That's got a lower price point, but there's an immense need. There's a lot of people that are renters that don't even understand that they could not only be a homeowner, that they're qualified and capable, but they're also not aware of the benefits. And even if they are aware of the benefits, they might not know that they're qualified and capable. Or even if they are qualified and capable, they might not know the benefits. You build your sphere of influence. You build your contact base through many different means. And this is the potential you've got to go to. Will you get there? I don't know. That's up to you. There's no guarantees in real estate. But if you're willing to invest your time, to invest your money, knowing that you don't need guarantees, that you don't need somebody to go to if you don't get, if you've got a job and that job doesn't pay you, if you don't get a paycheck every Friday or every other week, whenever it is you get paid, if your paycheck doesn't come, there's probably some door you could knock on, some phone number you could call, somebody that says, hey, where's my money? I worked, where's my money? In real estate, you're the one on the other end of that phone. So you'd just be calling yourself, where's my money? I don't know. I guess I need more leads. I guess I need more contacts. I guess I probably should have did this math to realize what I need to be doing to build a plan so I could be on track, not just to get by. Because a lot of people get started and they get to this point, and even again, just earning $100 an hour, that's going to pay better than most jobs, but you're missing the boat significantly. You could be making 16 times as much money if you really hone in your skills and focus in and become more efficient. And this isn't a situation where you cap out in your job. If anyone's had a position, I was in sales before I got into real estate, and there's this whole capping out thing that I literally couldn't earn any additional raises, and there was only so much money it is that I could make no matter how much money I brought to the company. And I was consistently capping out. I was in a position where I wasn't able to earn any additional money. And looking at advancement opportunities with the company I was with, it was very marginal improvements. Like, oh, okay, I can make another $1 an hour. Do you want another $1 an hour, or do you want 16 times as many dollars per hour? Do you want little bumps, or do you want to change your life now, today? This doesn't happen overnight. In reality, it does take years. But when you're up here and looking back, you'll be glad you're not down here. Because I sure am. So where you fit real estate into your schedule is up to you. But going through an exercise like this where you're laying out what time you have available, when you have to go to your kids' like sporting events or picking them up from school or whatever obligations it is that you may have. Maybe you go to church, maybe there's some sort of club. Look, these things that you're doing on a daily basis, you could turn all of this into productive money-making time if consult with your company if you're worried about getting fired for this year, because this may violate your company's policy for working on your real estate business during the company time. Most businesses are going to frown upon that. However, maybe you meet a lot of people in your day job. And maybe your company's got no problem with outside of working hours as long as you're doing your job during working hours. A lot of times they don't have any problem if you're able to benefit from the relationships you make during your day job outside of working hours. As long as you're not like in direct competition with the company you work for, they probably don't care. Double check, because I don't want to get anybody fired for this year. But chances are, again, if you've got contacts, especially if you run your own business, if you're already entrepreneurial, what are you doing without having a real estate license? Just get it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to be a realtor. Just because you get a license doesn't mean you're obligated to become a realtor. There's so many benefits that you have just from having the license without even it being inactive, just from the knowledge standpoint. But again, find the time it is that you could carve out. And your other prime time here, this is your prime time for showings. When you have buyers that are looking to purchase a home, whether they're moving up, they're buying their first home, whatever the case may be, they usually want to see properties after work or on the weekends. And you could build out your schedule around this. You could set your day up in the morning, make some phone calls during your lunchtime, have your appointments in the evening, and go in all in on your business on the weekend. Maybe the hours don't look exactly like this. Again, you make your own schedule. So this is really, again, just merely me trying to help make more obvious when you might have some time available. But go through this. Draw something like this out on a piece of paper so you could do some math, you could do some figures, you could figure out how you make this dream of yours a reality. Until you start taking tangible actions like this, it won't become a reality. So make sure you're spending time planning your future, because you get caught up in the now and just what needs to happen now without any outlook towards the future. When the future arrives, you're not going to be happy with where you are versus where you could be. Because that's what I was starting to realize. I was moving along, and I was about here. And, maybe I was right at the point where I could have got a little bump from the company it is I was working at. But I realized I could have been here. And if I was on that track already, then I will be here rather than here. And looking back at my life, I could be up here instead of here. But you got to put yourself in the right environment for success. Do you even have the ability to make 16 times as much money by becoming the best you could be in your current role? And this isn't even the best you could be. This is average. This is average. Going back to these numbers over here, these are averages from the Association of Realtors. These are not top producers. These are averages among all agents, including the top producers and including the agents that have no idea with what they're doing and are taking significantly longer than this. So this is average. I'm not even saying, you could make this much money if you're really the best there is. I'm not even telling you need to be the best there is. I'm just saying to be average. These are based on average figures. Average sale price, average hours worked with a buyer, average hours worked with a seller, all averages. If we want to really come up with some really ridiculous, outlandish numbers, we could do that. We could pump the numbers. We could say, all right, well, you're working with an $800,000 luxury deal, and you close these listings in only 5 hours because you're the best there is. And you close 20 deals a year. I'm just curious. I want to see what that math is. Well, let's see what that comes out to be here. So let's say your average sale price is $800,000. And you close these deals in 5 hours. And you're working 40 hours a week. And again, this is the unrealistic example here, so I'm just curious where we're coming out with all these here. And we're working 52 weeks a year because we don't need to sleep. And we're working 50 hours a week because we're making so much money. Why not? Again, this is a hypothetical, probably not going to happen situation, but let's see what these numbers come out to here. And maybe we should pick something more than $800,000, but whatever. We'll say $800,000. And let's say you're getting a 3% commission. We're not even going to say 3.5%. We'll still say 3%. You know what, though? But if you're the best there is, you better be commanding good commission. So we will say 3.5%. Because you're the best there is, and you get the deals done in 5 hours of working time. So $800,000 times 0.035. So you're going to make $28,000 on this sale. On your average sale at that point here. And if you could do that in 5 hours, well, in theory, that's going to mean that we're going to close 10 deals a week. Yeah, this is ridiculous here. So that's $280,000 a week. And 52 weeks a year because we're a workaholic. So times 10 deals a week times 52 in a year. Yeah, so $14 million, that's probably unrealistic. But I'll tell you what, there's real estate teams that bring in way more money than this. There's real estate teams, and this is also getting really hard to see there. We'll have to thicken up the stream here. Thicken the stream. There's real estate teams that make more money than that because they do close that many deals per week. That's the reason why this is so high. But look, like I said, this is maybes, this is what ifs, this is, we're really trying to push the limits here. That's not what I was trying to do with the math that we were doing earlier. The math we're doing earlier, just average. What's possible with an average sale price, average hours worked, 8 hours with a buyer, or 24 hours with a buyer, I'm sorry. 24 hours is what we worked up for this one here for the $500. So 24 hours to close the deal versus 8 hours to close the deal with a seller. And building your schedule at first, it's not just, okay, what deals do I have to close? You don't have any deals. So it's finding the deals, developing a process of building a pipeline so you have a consistent flow of business constantly coming to you. You do these things, and that's what's going to take you from being an average agent who could close a deal and somehow you figured it out, to being somebody who's got this down to pretty good science, to somebody who focuses on sellers and is able to close deals much faster. But again, still working within average numbers here. So figuring out how you could build that in a schedule, when you could have time to do showings, when you could have time to do showings in open houses, when you have time to have discussions with your clients about offers, about inspections, about appraisals, about things that are going on. You do not need to be available 24/7. Despite what people may think, you do not need to be available 24/7 in real estate. If you have clearly established parameters of when it is that you're able to get in touch with your clients, if you're able to be available in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, you're able to get things taken care of, but you have to be intentional. And so building out a plan like this allows you to take control and be in control. To be your own boss who builds your own schedule. But if you just kind of take life as it comes to you without having an intentional set of objectives that you're seeking out to achieve, it doesn't end up with millions of dollars. It ends up with average, because that's what the average person does. They don't know what's going to truly take their life to the next level. If that was the definition of average, everybody would be taking their lives to the next level. But a lot of people feel like they're trapped. Like there's no escaping this. But honestly, as soon as you surpass whatever it is you break down to your hourly rate, and look, if you get paid a salary or commissions or whatever it is, you want to break down after taxes, after expenses, how much money are you taking home to the bank per hour? Because I bet you it's not hard to beat in real estate. And when you could beat that, you could beat this. You could remove that from your life, and now all of a sudden, you're still working your business, let's say around here. But now you've got all this free time during the week to do whatever it is, to even set yourself up to get your stuff done so you don't have to be working overtime on the weekends or getting up extra early to get things done. However, what happens to a lot of real estate agents, this is why you see some like mega top producers out there, is they start hitting a stride and they realize, wow, this is good money. And I enjoy doing it. So it's almost like you're excited to get up in the morning and work your job rather than like, all right, well, let me go put my hours in today so I get my paycheck this week. Real estate can be so much more rewarding. And for me, it has been. Looking back on where I was, I can't imagine what my life would be like if I stayed on the path it was that I was in. I guarantee I would not be as happy as I am today. And that's why we're here every single Friday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we want to see more people find success through real estate. And that's why we're here every single Friday as well as Wednesdays to help you mastermind, to grow your real estate business, to help you expand, to help you understand what those next steps may be to help you grow your real estate business. And if you want to talk to one of our advisors more directly and confidentially, of course, you could call or text us at 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. And let's check Facebook on here because it looks like we got a few comments in here. Keeps freezing up on my end, so apologize for missing these. Hopefully you're still tuned in, everyone here. Yeah, so Mike, you do need a license to be able to earn referrals, and it has to be active. So there are specific brokerages that are referral brokerages, and these referral brokerages, they don't require you to join the realtors. You don't have to pay for the MLS, so it's a lot lower cost, but you do need to have an active license with a referral broker to earn referrals in Florida. Otherwise, they treat it the same as unlicensed practice of real estate, which you go to jail for 5 years, so we don't want that. And yes, thank you also for sharing that WeBuyHouses.com. And look, I'm not here to say that that's bad for everyone because there are people that, again, are in a situation where they need to get out yesterday. Or maybe the property is not in condition to sell for top market value. That's where the cash for houses, we buy houses, we buy ugly houses. There's all these different things out there, and they're a great fit for some people. But if you've got an average home or better, it isn't just some eyesore that nobody wants to buy, and you've got time to be able to allow it to be on the market, you could almost always get significantly more than what you're going to get from any of these instant offers or cash offer type of deal things. So appreciate you sharing that. Thanks for tuning in, Mike, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you for commenting in. Chelsea. It's all the time we've got for today. I want to thank you guys, and hopefully this has helped you get some more information to better understand what's possible in real estate, how to set up your schedule on a weekly basis to be able to make time to grow your real estate business. If you want to find out more about what you're doing during these times, how to earn referrals, how to hold open houses, working with buyers, working with sellers, we've got tons of free videos on our Facebook, on our YouTube, or if you go to tampaschool.com/success, that'll take you right to our Success Center. And if you have questions about what's required to get started, to actually get started and get enrolled in a class, we've got live stream classes you could attend from anywhere in the world. We have a new on-demand instructor-led course that you could take on your schedule. So we've got so many different options. Give us a call. The phone number is 813-333-2676. It's about all the time we've got for today. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back on Wednesday for Ask the Instructor. But otherwise, everyone have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Have you been wanting to get your real estate license but have been struggling to find an instructor-led course that fits your schedule? I'm proud to introduce to you our on-demand instructor-led pre-licensing course. Now you do not have to make a course schedule fit around your schedule to take an instructor-led course. This course is designed to be 100% video-based instruction. And this video-based instruction, even though this is pre-recorded video, still gives you the opportunity to engage and interact with the information to ensure your understanding of important key concepts so you're prepared for your end of course exam and state exam. My name is John Carismo, and I'll be your instructor in this course. And I've been with the Tampa School of Real Estate for several years now and have helped personally thousands of people going through the licensing process. I'm excited to be your instructor throughout this course. Now, as you're going through the course, if you need help, we're just a click away. In the corner, you'll see a little yellow chat bubble where you can message our student support team, where you'll be able to get in touch with our team of licensed support professionals that have sales associate licenses, broker licenses, and instructor licenses as well. So you don't have just one instructor, you have a whole team of people from the Tampa School of Real Estate to help keep you on track, to help keep you in the important information, and to help keep you moving closer towards building your real estate career, getting it off the ground, and being able to go out there to join a broker, to activate your license, and start earning commissions. All of that is possible and so much more. But to get started, you need to enroll. So enroll today. Take advantage of the special offer we have on this on-demand pre-licensing course. You'll have instant access as soon as you enroll. You'll get an email with information to log into your course online so you get logged in and start completing your course today. You don't have to wait until the class starts. The class is already there waiting for you. So take action today and let's start building your real estate empire. Have you been wanting to get your real estate license but have been...
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
So you just got your real estate license. How can you jumpstart your real estate business? The number one thing you should do before you do anything else is post-licensing. Now look, this is already a requirement, so you're gonna have to do it anyways, but here's why you wanna do it early. The sooner you do post-licensing, the sooner you're gonna learn the real world concepts in post-licensing that will help you create a business plan, that'll help you plan for your success in real estate. Post-licensing is all about real world topics that are usable, that'll help you grow your real estate business. And at Tampa School of Real Estate, we have the best post-licensing courses around. Find out more about how post-licensing can help you jumpstart your real estate career. Go to postflorida.com.